Wherever you are in the world today, hope you're happy. Okay, well, there's a blooper reel ready to happen. Anyway, so let's get into some market updates. So, if you watched my previous video, good for you. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it. So, over here, you'll see the words hypothetical low. Okay. I should probably start again, but I'm not going to. All right, so hypothetical low over there. I did a demonstration of what the things I look for are, and I said it's practice, 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 practice. Don't see this as an absolute setup because there was still some weird stuff happening and things didn't quite look concrete. And didn't take any action there because there's watching that needs to happen when new turning points are formed. That's why I've got the kill zone rule. That's why I've got the MTOPS checklist. That's why the isolated in switch and so on and so on and so on. So it's important to have something to go by, right? If you're just trading blindly and you're trying to make money and change your life blindly, you're going to end up like the other guys who just lost tons of money and walk away from this feeling discouraged. Okay, so got to have a structure, got to have a system, and mine's been built out of a ton of pain. I've had my ribs kicked in by the market so many times. There's such a love-hate relationship between me and Bitcoin, but thankfully it turned into more love than hate over the years because I just got better at it. So and coming from a place of someone who's mastered it and got better at it, my advice is to have a system. There's going to be days where your brain's foggy. There's going to be days where you're stressed, tired, overwhelmed, and over it, or just overly excited. There's the contrast to that where you're just eager and you want to make money and let's get this done. And you're like super motivated and you're just watching the market just crawl along, do nothing, and keep on like loading up and putting more money into the trade. And then it just stops and turns around and takes you out. Like, have a system, have a step-by-step process, follow the rules and stick to that. That's how you get through. All the other little bits in terms of just trading with trend and all that kind of stuff, that's super helpful. But ultimately, you want a system. If you don't have one, figure one out, or just take yours and a lot of abuse and having your head pushed underwater and basically waterboated or waterboarded over and over and over by the markets until you get your own system to work for you. But you got to have one. Okay, don't go on instinct. Go into trades blindly. Think about what you're doing. I did make a post on TikTok to say if you're not listening to your gut, then you're going to land up in losses. So there is that. Once you've had a trade and you feel nervous and anxious about it, then maybe just check in with your body to see whether or not there's confidence behind that move, because everything's connected energetically. Anyway, okay, so let's get into the setup today. I'm not going to ramble too much more on off topic subjects. I'll try to save that for YouTube and X and TikTok. I'm going to break this down because yesterday, as I said, we were waiting for a confirmed low where a lot of guys get caught out. And I just drew that hypothetical low down for a demonstration purposes. So I'm going to take this all down. Now, I'm taking that away. And I'm going to go back to you and just ask you, give you your 10 seconds to decide what do you think happens next and why. All right, so I've got my system here: market structure, time forecast, oscillator, price forecast, support and resistance that I check in with. Using your thoughts and your way of going about the market, what do you think happens next? Or if you've been following the series of free information, you're welcome. What do you think, according to my setup, happens next? I gave you 10 seconds. All right, so I'm going to give you my view of what happens next and see how aligned you were. I want to play a little game. I know I said I'm not going to go off topic, but I am Aquarius and I'm a little bit crazy. Okay, cool. So the universe says don't go off topic. All right, we're saved. Let's get back on. I was going to go to the homepage of TradingView to see what other people's ideas were, so we can have a little contrast between what's going on here versus them, and then see who lands up right overall. All right, before I get on to topic, the off-topic thing I want to say is that a lot of guys obsessed with price. They talk about price. It's going to hit 75,000. It's going to hit 100,000. It's going to hit, and eventually, they're going to be right at some time. Maybe it next year, 2 years from now, maybe never. I don't know, but theoretically speaking, they're going to be right at some point. But when you ask them, when is this going to happen? No one can really tell you with accuracy. And that's embarrassing. So markets operate time as the main focus and price as a sub focus. If you get timing of the market right and you don't care about price, you're going to be more profitable than most of those out there who are just focused on only price. So I'm going to say that again. If you only focus on time and forget about price, the timing of the highs and the lows, the timing of when to get in, the timing of how long to hold a position, the timing of that, and you don't care about price, then you're going to be a lot stronger and a lot better off than most of the guys out there who are just trying to focus on price. Okay, so the X and y-axis is on the page. The x-axis has more power than the y-axis. For example, over here, if you got in a long position over there too soon, in other words, bang, got in at the wrong place, and you would have been taken out on your stop loss. Okay, so it's about timing. Get timing right, the market's your baby. Okay, so the first thing that I hope you realized is we've got a low that's formed over here. Okay, that's quite crazy because it is only just formed above the previous low. I may have even touched it actually. Okay, so if that's one of the things that you saw, congratulations. So for this to be a downtrend, we would have had to have this move break this previous low. Yet it didn't. Okay, so that's super significant. The other thing, if you know the strategy, is that for a market structure perspective, as I'm making mention to, we've got all this white space that needs to get filled by price action responsibly. All right, so we couldn't have the turning points form over here because it's just all that extra pressure on having the next highs and lows form within their correct positions in the quadrants and the cycle overall, which means that it needed to move across. So this consolidation, just like we saw up over here, the crawling action, it needed to happen. So it crawled very intelligently. That's why I'm saying the market's super intelligent. Formed that lower low, lower than that point. This high formed higher than that point. So it has to do that to confirm that it's a high and a low. So a super smart market. And then we've got the anchor points from there. All right. So from the oscillator perspective, we had the switch, and then support and resistance we're going to lay down now. And then time and price forecast you're going to get from the combination of what I made mention to. So what I do is go to my Gantt square, have it scaled up. I don't think I'm going to make it bigger than this transition. So I'll leave it around about there and see if it connects well. This is where scaling comes in, like I've been making mention to. A lot of the industry are walking around blindly because they don't have a correctly scaled chart. Now, this is where I see the interactions of, oh man. Connection there, interaction there, move up over there. So yeah, it looks good. Okay, so sorry, I'm cheapest, dude. Wake up already. Okay, now we're going to get into the where price is unlikely going to go, and then from there we're going to start to see whether it's most likely going to go. This is where I get the non-probability boxes. Anything before there is the market forming too soon. Price has already formed up until that threshold. So this seems to be the area of highest probability. Now, what else can we do that's here? Well, to take it down a bit, we can look at that threshold between arc 4 and arc 5 on the Gann tool. And in a world of endless possibilities, we now have this section as our option. I'm quite happy I stumbled upon this because my target zones have been kind of bleeding into outside of the Gann, and I prefer for it not to. So this is basically what we're looking at the moment. I'm still not quite convinced. There's something that needs to play out. So at this point, even though this is the ideal place to get in after a confirmed turning point outside a kill zone, my target zone I'm going to have to re-look at as this builds out. It just feels as if something else needs to happen. But for the time being, for today that is, I'm going to call this the target zone. I'll see you at the end of the report. Ciao for now. Hope you guys are learning some cool things. The mystical trading. Okay. I want to finish off by saying if you don't learn and do things my way, I want you to at least get into Gann's work as your baseline. Gann was a trader well ahead of his time. I think he had a 98% hit rate. And he's celebrated in the mystical community as the best there ever was. Yeah. So if you're not going to learn from me directly, start studying astrophysics, astro trading rather, numerology, planetary angles when it comes to pivotal points in time on the markets, nodal points, understand the backing of energy and how markets relate to it. That's where you should focus. Drop all the other nonsense that you're seeing online. I can tell you from experience, it's rubbish. You're wasting your time if you're learning anything outside of Gann. And even his stuff is incomplete, and it's kind of interpretational, and people got different speculations of it. So I've refined it, I've mastered it, I've got it all down. But if you're not going to learn from me, at least get there, get as much material as you can on Gann, and you're welcome in advance. Okay, cool. I'll see you at the end of the day reports. Bye for now. Just kidding. Ciao for now.